I appreciate y'all joining us for another edition of our Sankofa Speaks, and as our live virtual in studio audience, you'll have an opportunity to ask our special guests some questions at the end of the show. But I want to again welcome everybody to our Sankofa Speaks, where these conversations are built to empower and inspire, and today is no different. Let me just jump right into things, as they say. I'm gonna read TJ's bio, and then we're gonna bring her on and have a wonderful discussion. I hope y'all are ready, because TJ Mercer, known as the walking exclamation point, is a 25-year Emmy-winning Hollywood veteran, speaker, and media coach, a proud Howard alum. Her storytelling has shaped shows like Extra, The Tonight Show, The Bachelor, as well as blockbuster films like Cars and Shrek. She made her headlines, raising over $1 million in just 4 weeks for 2020 HBCU grads, and leads the Move-In Day Mafia, nonprofit to support foster care students at HBCUs. Called the world's greatest hugger, TJ inspires through faith, joy, and service, one miracle at a time. Good people, let's welcome the walking exclamation mark.
Hey, Freddie.
Hey, TJ, how you doing today?
I am so happy to be here talking with you. Thank you for letting me come and unleash on your people.
Yes, yes, and I like that word, unleash, because we want it. We want it, right? We definitely want to hear your story, because I know it's empowering. But the first question up is, what's missing from the intro? What didn't I say that the people need to hear?
I would probably, if I would have to say, the first thing knee jerk that comes to my mind is one of the things you have to understand about me through the concept of this conversation is I'm a Jesus girl. And everything that I do is filtered through divine, assignments and leading. I'm sitting in Atlanta because of a divine assignment. I'm sitting as the founder of Move-In Day Mafia because of divine assignment. So everything that I do leads me to this kind of purpose. But the other thing that I would say is the one thing I'm for sure and for certain about TJ is I was created to bring joy. So whether I'm in Hollywood in my edit bay editing, joy. If I'm on the set where I was the behind the scenes producer for Night School and Shaft, there were days I would come to set and the stars were standing there waiting on me to hug them. Joy. When I am showing, students how, to reveal their new dorm rooms for Move-In Day Mafia. Joy. No matter what environment I'm in, I know when I leave my house, a light literally switches on and joy just comes out. And it's not manufactured joy. It's not, oh, I got to dig deep for this joy. I'm wired to bring joy.
I love that. I love it. Hey, y'all, give me a give me joy in the comments if you're feeling any joy already from this discussion. You definitely radiate that, sister. So I definitely always appreciate being in your presence. Tell me, where does that come from?
Well, all I can say, Freddie, is I've been like this my whole life. And as I've gotten older, I've always been one to, somebody called me a people collector. And I've always been one to be able to bring people to me. And fortunately, I use my powers of persuasion, of natural influence for good, because I somehow convince people that we should, go off on the plane of do-gooding shenanigans.
Do-gooding shenanigans. Okay. That's right in line with joy, but it's been a consistent thing. Tell us a little bit about the nonprofit, and then I want to just lay exactly what it is out, and
Mhm.
then kind of come back around to how did you get
Okay.
to moving this.
So, Moving Day Mafia is my nonprofit that I get the joy of being in charge. I never wanted to be in charge of nothing until Moving Day Mafia. I am one of those people who is an unapologetic follower. I never wanted to be nobody's leader. I love being on teams, I love collaborating. until Move-In Day Mafia. And so we are, I like to call us a mob of volunteers who get together to go to HBCU campuses where we move in and take care of for 4 years the HBCU students who have either aged out of foster care or unhoused, or they're grappling with severe financial hardships because they don't have any support.
Yeah, yeah. Now that y'all, that was I was like, oh, Move-In Day Mafia. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize she was supporting students for 4 years. And y'all, this ain't even it ain't even the depth of the story, right?
Yeah.
Um, it
I
is
remember when you were like, I didn't know you did all that. I was like,
I was
yeah.
like, oh
Yeah,
my God.
some of these kids, Freddie, today actually we're kicking off our interview. So applications are open after this. After I'm done with you, we have our very first interview with the kids. And they're my kids. I know they're young adults, but for me, they're my kids. And just because they're turning 18 does not mean they know how to do life.
Mm.
And 70% of kids in foster care dream of college, but only 3% go, 1% graduate. So our kids are already beating the odds. Now, let me add another layer to that. Last year, Howard, my alma mater, I am a unapologetic, insufferable graduate of the Howard University.
It's
You
suffering.
already know. Um, but I know that Howard had like 40,000 applications last year for 2,000 spots.
Wow.
Clark Atlanta had 46,000 applications for 1,200 spots.
Wow.
We moved in 6 Clark Atlanta students and 2 Morehouse students last year. So our kids are beating the odds to go to college, and they're getting into these elite HBCUs. So for me, it's non-negotiable that we have a responsibility for those who resonate with our mission. We take it as a responsibility to get these babies to the finish line.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, wow, that's unbelievable. And then the stats of dreaming to go into college, and college being competitive. One thing when you got support, so really beating the odds like that is amazing. So how did you get here? How did you wake up? It was like, you know what? I want to move this mountain over there. Yeah. How
So
did we
what
get
had
here?
happened was I was living in LA when I got the divine assignment in 2020 to move to Atlanta. And I got the nudge that my time in Hollywood as I saw it and in that form was over, and I was to do something new. Now, what I was supposed to do new, I didn't really know. So I get here a week later, I get to Atlanta a week later, we are on lockdown. So I'm
Right,
some kind of hot about this
right.
because I'm like, I could have ridden this thing out in LA with my people. I don't really know people in Atlanta. I could have ridden this out with the people that I love, and being an extrovert designed to bring joy, like I said at the beginning, I knew, okay, let me just take a beat, let me take a breath and see what is the assignment in this. So what I did was I created a virtual bingo game that took off. It was supposed to be one night. We were gonna play for a total of $100 that I was coming out of my pocket. It was gonna be $10 a game because all it was designed to just bring people together and attack some of the loneliness that was happening and all of that. And yet, 6 weeks later, we were still playing bingo because people had started donating prizes, and I had all of this stuff that I had to get rid of. And around that same time, graduations were getting canceled. And being an HBCU lover through and through, I came from an HBCU family. I was really beginning to feel the pain of those students who had to crawl to the finish line,
Mm.
that they barely made it. Every semester, they didn't know how they were going to pay for the next semester because that was my story. And yet they made it, but now they don't have that big culmination moment. And so I asked God, like, can you please show me what I can do, what's in my hands that I can do for these students? And so what we did was we converted the regular bingo to HBCU bingo. Freddie, We raised over $1 million in cash and prizes in less than 4 weeks. And we gave it to the 2020 grads of HBCUs in a series of bingo games. So, of course, that's getting traction, national media, and CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell asked to interview me and one of the grads. And this particular grad that I chose, I didn't know her backstory. I just chose a grad who was in Atlanta and who could come for the interview. But I overheard her story where when she went to her HBCU, she had aged out of foster care. And her social worker drove her to campus, pulled up to the curb, and then bounced and just left her. And it was something about that. I'm a firm believer that that thing that keeps you up at night, that problem that keeps you up at night could be the very thing that you specifically and uniquely are called to solve. And
Mm,
because I knew that this was bothering me, because that was not my, I don't know how many here, Diana, I don't know anybody who has gone, if you've gone to college and you have experienced a move-in day, there's a good chance that on one side of the room it's you and your family and they have shopped to your heart's content. And then on the other side of the room is a kid that is asking for some sheets. I had one kid said, regardless if y'all take me in the mafia, can you help me with some sheets? These kids are showing up by themselves, navigating this big transition alone. And I was like, this can't happen. And when I asked God to show me what we can do, Move-In Day Mafia was born. And we
mm.
have, up to date, we have moved in 84 students at 21 HBCUs
21 HBCUs.
in three
I,
years. In 3 years.
I was just like, wow, right? To go from having a calling to move to Atlanta. I was like, I listened to you, like, move to Atlanta. I said, boy, this ain't the blackest story.
Now
Y'all know
I get it though. At
black
the
boy.
time, I didn't get it. Now I get it because you got Clark, Morehouse, Spelman, and Morris Brown here. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, okay. I'm sorry
Yeah,
that I was fighting you.
and you know what? It didn't, I didn't even put that together until you just said that. Like, it is a cluster of really good HBCU schools.
Mhm.
Uh, I just couldn't help the joke, right? Black folk move. I'm changed my life. I'm moving to Atlanta, like so. um, but then I'm always marveled
But wait,
by.
Freddie, wait. I want to insert in that
Sure,
so
go
just
for it.
in case if somebody needs this part of the journey. I loved LA. It wasn't like I was tired of LA. LA had become my dream. I grew up in a small town, Jackson, Tennessee, before the internet, before we were all interconnected, before we could see in real time what's going on the other side of the world. So Hollywood and LA was a whole, foreign country almost, if you will, at the time. And so I wasn't ready to leave,
Mm.
but I sure am glad that I obeyed the nudge and did. But it was hard leaving because I loved LA, still love LA. I love Atlanta equally now, but I still loved LA at the time.
So you've gone to Atlanta. You don't really know anybody. A week later, the pandemic hits. Um, you're around. You're questioning the calling. I don't know. I'm assuming now. This is just me talking, but I think that we got a lot of people in the audience that might hear this, and maybe they're going through something like that. How through that do you maintain awareness to even see the issue or see a problem to solve? I'm trying to think like how would somebody feeling your story?
I don't think you can be, to be honest.
Okay.
It was just that thing of hearing what she went through, liking it to my own experience and how totally different, and just being sensitive to what if it were me. Like, I had a whole support system going through college and it still was tough. So imagine I'm not gonna get emotional. The other day, I saw somebody tagged me in a video of a kid that she was celebrating that she got her birth certificate and her driver's license by herself.
Mm.
Something we take for granted. I've had my birth certificate my whole life. My mama had it, then I had it. And I knew, I got my learner's permit at 15, got my driver's license on my 16th birthday. But these kids have no one guiding them. The things that we take for granted that we do, it's something that we have to celebrate for them. And when I'm looking at the stories of my kids and the feedback we're getting back of, is y'all checking on me, every week? Is Auntie so and so who's checking on me every week, seeing how my finals went? And then, like I said, we opened up applications, and I shared this on social media. I shared the screenshot where a young lady was saying, I just want y'all to know, even if I'm not accepted, that I'm thankful that y'all started this for kids like me who need someone checking in on us, who want to see how we are doing. Our kids now are thriving, Freddie. They're interning at Chase Bank. They're interning as research assistants. They're interning at the Tennessee State Lottery. They're interning at Disney. They're going on studies abroad because we have taken the stress off of detergent, deodorant, soap. They can thrive. We had two babies who pledged Delta this past season. We had one baby who pledged Omega because they have the brain power. You catch that? Omega, Freddie. Did you catch that? But they have the freedom in their brains to try other things because they know we're their foundation. They don't have to worry about the basic necessities. I don't
Mm.
even know if that answered the question, but there you go.
No, that took us right where we needed to be, right? Somebody who had saw something and led with heart and passion, and you're pouring into being of assistance for them.
Mhm.
I want the people to start to understand the depth of this assistance of like how like you talked about they want to know about auntie like so kind of try to wrap in you started the applications y'all taking in new students for the upcoming year y'all they gonna need financial support right I think everybody saw
A
that
lot, a lot, a lot, a lot,
a lot, a
a
lot
lot
of
of it.
financial support. But some of the things that was really cool that you mentioned to me was about the wish list, right? So
Yeah.
talk to that, and then talk to the support with showing if you're in near a campus and you can
Okay.
show up and all of that.
So a good friend at who Freddie and I have in common is Nikki Klug of Nikki Klug Design Group. She is an interior designer. Nikki designs all the rooms. So we don't go and buy bed in a bag, Deidre. We actually design these rooms based on an exhaustive questionnaire of what do these kids like. For the first time, a lot of these kids are being asked for the first time, what do you want in your space? What is your favorite color? One of our babies, the one at Howard, she was doing a media interview where I overheard her tell the reporter, I was blown away because I got to pick my own hair products. Stuff that we take for granted. Hair products. She had a say so in what she wanted. So that's the first level of we make sure their rooms are totally designed to how they would feel comfortable because this is their space. And then every month, and it takes us about $5,000 per student per year to take. So that's why I had to tell Fred it's a lot, a lot of money. Last year we moved in 40 kids at 19 HBCUs. So the next level is then every month they fill out another form that tells us what deodorant do you want, what some have asked for slippers. We had one baby who asked for a wig because she was going into her internship and she just wanted a wig. I tell them you can ask for anything. I am going to tap out my network and see. We've had times where a kid needed a laptop. I put it out there to our supporters. We got a baby whose laptop just broke. that laptop was bought within the next day. So we have some generous supporters so that these kids don't have, and it takes, who was that in the chat? Miss Diana, I think. You can back me up on this. It takes a lot to tear those walls down with them, to even ask, because they're so used to nobody caring. Or one kid told me, well, nobody around me can do anything about it, so what's the point of talking about it? He was so blown away that when he asked for some clippers, some hair clippers, then I'm sure you got 3 or 4 of them, Freddie. But some, David, you too, got hair clippers just laying around. That this kid, he was so overwhelmed that we got him hair clippers. So every month it requires another level of support. I got people who don't like shopping, so they just donate. But then we have people who love that on the 14th through the 21st every month, we do something called Adopt a Scholar. And that's where we put out the wish list for the public to purchase these items. And so some of our donors feel more connected. Obviously, we don't give out names, but we do the wish list by school. And we, Prairie View, Lane College, Howard, Morehouse, Clark. You get to choose the school that you feel most connected to, and then just go buy whatever's on the list, whether it's detergent, deodorant, snacks. And baby love them some Welch's fruit snacks. Woo, they love them some Welch's fruit snacks. And they love this EOS lotion. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. That this EOS lotion, like they love that stuff. And so, but during the summer, here's what's kind of special during the summer, Freddie. A lot of our kids have housing instability. So the summer, they're couch surfing. They don't know really where they're going to be week to week or even day to day. So the request for the summer is we're sending them gift cards, Visa gift cards, $200 each. There's broken down into $25 intervals on the wish list so that we can next day air or 2 day air the gift cards to them, because they don't have, sometimes not so safe places that they're staying in. One scholar, we just got her housing. We found emergency housing for her because she was in an environment where meth was being cooked. And the last thing we can have is a kid who's on the right track, Miss Sheila, doing what she's supposed to do, get caught up in some mess that don't have anything to do with, except she had to have a place to sleep. And that was her situation.
Wow. Yeah, so I mean, it's the stuff that we're not even. It's not even. You painted the picture of if you went to college, you were probably there with parents that and support system that bought all of this stuff, and somewhere on the other side of the room, it was somebody like that. Like that really like hit home because I was definitely the one with all the stuff. And wow.
That literally just happened. Like I felt blessed that God let me see what started the vision actually come into fruition. So we had a young lady who flew by herself, who came in with one suitcase and nobody else. She didn't have anything but the clothes that she needed. And I got to see her walk into the arms of the mafia. She wasn't by herself because we were there. We were able to fully decorate her room. And it was an amazing thing to witness, like, oh, this is what we were created for. This is what we were born to do. This is why I work, 90 hours a week, losing sleep. And as my team, we call it, I get on the pole and make it rain for these kids. So if you got a purple G string or a pink G string and want to get on the pole next to me for these babies, we can come up with our routine.
Come up with our routine. Hey, that is definitely a call to action there. So if you want to support, if some of the people in the audience we heard, they're like, look, I heard enough because there's more, y'all. Like it just, I mean, because it's just deeper and deeper. But if they wanted to support, how can they go about that?
Move-in-day-mafia.org. Move-in-day-mafia.org. And then if you were in Atlanta, we're having our very first in-person fundraiser next month. We're taking it back to where it started, the HBCU Bingo Experience live in Atlanta. Sherry Shepherd is our host for the evening. She's the MC. I'm hosting the bingo. So everything, all those details, even if you're not in Atlanta, we got a room block so you can fly in. They got planes that fly in Atlanta every day from all over the world. But if you got friends that's in Atlanta, tell them to go buy a ticket. We're gonna have silent auction. Actually, I've been on the phone with some of my people connected to celebrities all day. They're gonna be sending stuff signed so you can have the silent auction. We have earned our moniker, This Ain't Your Grandmama's Bingo. We did it when we did the virtual bingo. We had people playing from all over the world when I was doing all of the virtual bingos. But we're gonna have blackjack table, we're gonna have craps table. I got a bunch of surprises built in. We're gonna be playing with Mafia Bucks all night, so it's going to be. We got DJ, like you may want to get here. You may want to get here.
This is June 14th?
July 13th.
July.
July 13th.
July 13th.
No, July 12th. Wait, sorry, July 12th. Because I'm laughing because here, like, it may be Beyonce may show up. Because let me tell you what happens, Freddie. I went and looked at Beyonce tickets. Beyonce is coming on July 10th, July 11th, July 13th, and July 14th. Now, why would she skip over July 12th?
She free.
She free. So.
Beyonce love the kids. All right, somebody put that out of y'all network now. Tell her
no, right. If you got connections to B, make sure she knows HBCU Bingo Experience.
And tell her to bring her fan now.
See, I like Miss Diana. Miss Diana said no, she will be there for you. See, I'm saying. See, I got that delusional faith. That's what I'm
Okay. I love it. And we got ways that we can support. So definitely y'all check out moveindayMafia.org to support TJ and her organization that is putting in this work. How do you keep it all together?
I don't. Okay, so I'm gonna be real vulnerable and transparent with you. So about 2 or 3 days ago, I learned that I have ADHD. And it was so freeing because I figured it felt like I know what's wrong with me. And for the longest, I even rejected the assignment. I rejected doing the bingo. I built the whole back system for the bingo and tried to give it to someone else because I never felt qualified. I am a creative. My job for 25 years in television was to tell beautiful stories that kept you engaged. And that was it. That's where I thrived. I am not a left brain thinker. So I always felt disqualified and not disqualified, unqualified, because this is a lot. My team knows I got one spreadsheet per meeting capacity. That's it. After that, you don't show me another spreadsheet for another 48 hours. But it was really stressing me. I was feeling lazy. I was feeling unproductive. Not to mention, some of my ladies here probably are old enough. Freddie, you married to a lady. So the whole perimenopause thing is kicking my butt too with the brain fog. Where I'm blessed is I have a team of implementers around me and a team who is committed to the vision. So where I lack, they are picking up the slack. And most days I still feel like I can't do it all. I can't have it all. But then my faith kicks in and I remember that I'm on divine assignment. And because I'm on divine assignment, this has to work out. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to get the right strategy. I'm going to have it together because for me and my belief, God loves these kids too much for me to fail at this. Because if I don't get this right, if I don't get this together, Miss Jean, it's going to impact real lives. It's going to impact destinies, Dr. Anita. So I have to get it together. And so I'll pick myself up, but it was the most freeing thing to see, like, oh, that's how I'm naturally wired. Oh, it takes a minute for me to focus. It takes a minute to figure out. It's not a bad thing, Teej, if I have to call Tamiko, if Tamiko was my assistant, said, Tamiko, I just need you to tell me what I need to do first. Because right now this is too overwhelming. I don't know what the priority needs to be for us to get to the finish line on this. So just tell me step one. Don't give me step two and three. Let me do step one. And I used to think I was broken. I used to think that there was something wrong with me, that a CEO should be able to have all of these skills. And yesterday I realized, I sat there and had a good cry that I don't, but I'm gonna be
Mm.
fine. Because I have to look at, and then I have to sometimes, Freddie, run my receipts. First year of Mafia, we had 13 students at one HBCU. My delusional faith sent me to Dallas with $3,500 to move in 13 kids. Nikki will tell you this because she was there. And I'm sitting there panicking, like, I don't know how $3,500 is supposed to actually take care of 13 kids. That's barely going to take care of one. And yet, an hour before we were supposed to go shopping, Miss Yvonne, I got the divine nudge to call a woman out of the blue. I did that. I called her. I told her what was going on. She said, "How much are you short?" I said, "We need about another 17,000." She said, "You'll have it in an hour." That's how Mafia launched. Mafia launched on a miracle. So then fast forward the next year, we doubled that. We moved in 31 students at 5 HBCUs. Last year, we moved in 40 students at 19 HBCUs. Now, this year, I'm going to pump my brakes a little because we need to put in infrastructure. Now that we have enough data, we need to start crossing T's and dotting I's. So the goal this year is to only move in 23 students. I don't care about how many HBCUs, but only 23 students so that we can do things, visionary ideas I have, to test them before we actually go wide again next year. So when you ask me how I keep it all together, I really don't. I just trust the God in me and my delusional faith.
Mm. Mm. A little faith of a mustard seed, huh? That's all you need, huh?
Baby, that's woo. Now, come on now. Cause sometimes I feel like it ain't even the size of a mustard seed, God. So I could be just as surprised as people that see it. Are like, okay, now how did that happen? What, we just had a major miracle. I don't know if you saw me write about this, Freddie, but three multi-billion-dollar companies came together for Mafia. The Container Store donated nearly 1,000 sheet sets. They wanted to.
Wow.
The conversation started November of last year when they first reached out to me out of the blue. And she reached out, and my knee-jerk was action was, that's too many logistics. I got nauseous thinking about how to make it happen. So I was going to say no to it because I was like, I can't even think. And it's in Dallas. That's not helping. So I was like, well, little is better than nothing. So I was like, maybe I can find some volunteers to let them store some of the sheets. Maybe we can take, 50 pairs of sheets. That'll help.
Mm.
Fast forward, Christmas hits, we lose contact or whatever. But what I didn't know at the time, that was divine timing, that this delay was a divine timing. Fast forward, I'm having problems setting up our Amazon nonprofit account because Amazon had given us, $10,000 last year. And I know we're in a, climate where boycott, I get all that before you're mad at me. But Amazon had given us $10,000. These kids need soap, detergent, and deodorant. I got to get it from somewhere. So we went with Amazon. I was having problems setting up the nonprofit account. Our advocate told me she wanted me to talk to this other lady. I get on the phone with this other lady. We're on the Zoom rather. Get on the phone with this other lady, Mia. And Mia is telling me all she does, and I'm sitting there going, "What that got to do with fixing my account?" I was lost in the conversation, and so finally I was like, "Mia, you know what? Because I'm always gonna keep it 100, no matter what environment I'm in." I was like, Mia, you know what? I need you to break this down like I'm a fourth grader. I don't understand what you telling me. What is it that you do? And she says to me, Freddie, get this, lean in, y'all. She says to me,
Lean in.
she says, say for example, Teej, you catching this, Miss Yvonne? You got to catch this because this is good. So she says, say for example, Teej, you have a donor willing to give you something in another state, but you got to get it back to Atlanta. Amazon transportation will take care of that for free. My assistant was on the call with me. She saw it when my eyes lit up and I forgot all my professionalism. I lost my mind. I was like, hold up, Mia, hold up. Mia, wait. We gotta take this slow. I was like, so if Container Store in Dallas has like 1,000 sheets that they want to give us and we need to get it to Atlanta, you will do this for free? And she nonchalantly goes, yeah. Damn. Okay, wait, it gets gooder. It gets gooder. So
It get
then
gooder.
I'm like, okay, God, I know if you handling that part of the equation, there's no way I'm gonna miss the other part. Because now they're telling me you need a forklift, you need a forklift operator, you need a storage with loading dock, and you need a pallet jack. I ain't have none of that. I barely knew what any of that meant. So I was like, let me do the easy part, Fred. Let me do the easy part. So I was like, the easy part is, okay, we're going to need volunteers to unload and put this stuff in storage. Well, by the way, I got to find the storage too, but that's a whole nother ball game. So I was like, but I'm going to do the easy part. I'm going to call our friends at Best Buy because Best Buy came through like a champ. That's a whole nother story. If we got time, Fred, I'm going to tell you what delusional faith got me Best Buy. So I was like, I'm gonna call my guy at Best Buy and just see if the Best Buy has a program, Miss Rosetta, where they will pay the employees to do volunteer work. So I called Ed. I was like, Ed, I got, Container Store is willing to give us these 1,000 sheets. If I get them to Dallas and get them to a storage unit, do you have employees that can be volunteers for the day to help us unload it? And I kid you not, Miss Karen. Ed goes, Miss TJ, he's got a real deep voice. Miss TJ, can I work for you? Sir, don't promise me no good time. What does that mean? He was like, I can take care of all of it. The forklift, we're gonna have the Container Store delivered to us. And on our loading dock, we're gonna unpack it off of the big pallets. We will sort it, put it in manageable boxes to you. We just need to see if Amazon will send another truck to come pick up those and take them to the storage unit. Baby, 7 months later, it all came together, and I sat there and watched Amazon, Container Store, Best Buy work for Move-In Day Mafia. But it gets gooder, Fred. I ain't done. It gets gooder.
It gets gooder.
It gets gooder. I'm standing there watching these employees unload and do all these boxes, and Ed goes, Miss TJ, I forgot to tell you that Best Buy has a program where we're going to actually donate another $500 for you letting us do this for you. What world a Best Buy pays us to do manual labor for us? I don't even know what the question was, but that's my delusional faith in action.
No, that was the perfect answer. Because delusional faith, that's what I was writing down over there. I was like, okay, I gotta up my levels of delusion here. I love it though, but it's falling into place for you. I did want to open up the floor, open up questions for our human exclamation mark, right? now you understand why she earned that moniker, right? But we got to put the exclamation after joy because I know you just brought a lot of joy to the people that are listening. So, all right, you can raise your Zoom hand or raise your Zoom hand. Let's keep some order. I'm gonna start with Tamiko because she always got a question. So hopefully she's ready and cheating. I'm trying to cheat. I'm giving y'all a break. I'm giving you a chance to answer.
So many, TJ, you are incredible. That's all. I mean, I have no words. Your energy, your spirit, your selflessness, all the things that you're doing for people that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to be blessed because you're a blessing to so many.
Thank you. Thank you.
My question was, in your story, you had mentioned like during the summer, they don't have room and board, they don't have really a place to stay. I was like, what happens to their stuff during that time do you guys have to store that for them, or is that something that you're going to plan in the future?
Okay.
Or
So let me tell you this. Miracles, baby, miracles. Let me tell you. This is why I usually have a shirt on my interview that says I believe in miracles for Moving Day Mafia. So, Cisco Systems, who gave us $15,000 last year, um, they asked for a proposal because I had asked them for 110,000 to cover all the students this year because I knew that was the storage issue was one of the problems, right? And Cisco comes back and says, tell me, well, submit it for 125,000. So I'm waiting on that miracle to get the yes, because I went from 110 and y'all telling me to submit 125,000. So Freddie, when they come back and say yes, I'm gonna tell you to tell your group the miracle came true. Okay.
I
So
love it.
and then she told me specifically, think outside the box and think of everything that you could possibly want. Well, what I had learned is that U-Haul, Tamiko, has a program called College Boxes. And college boxes, and if some of you have college students, if you don't know this, this may be good. So lean in. So college boxes will send the boxes to the students for them to pack themselves. And then they will come pick up the boxes, store it, and then in the fall semester, they'll re-deliver the boxes. So I had a
Wow.
teammate that say, I need you to give me a ballpark figure of how much this thing costs because I want to put this in the Cisco proposal. She calls me and tells me that she emailed them. Why the next day did I wake up and College Boxes had followed us on Instagram and had requested a meeting with us? And
mhm,
Wow.
said, but we were too late to take advantage of this, and said, we can handle these schools for free.
mhm.
But by that time, we had always made arrangements. So I know that really wasn't your question, but Freddie told me my assignment was to inspire his people. So I needed to tell the story that I am a firm believer. If you do step one, step two, step three, step four will be taken care of. And then maybe you got to step out and do step five. My job was to create that proposal to start thinking about college boxes so that now college boxes is actually engaging with us to cover our students for free. Come on now. Freddie, did you see Jarman said, I'm inspired. I did my job, Freddie. I did my job.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Good prompt there, Tamiko. Diana said, I want to come to Atlanta to meet you July 12th. Is that the event, right?
Yes. So go to movingdaymafia.org/HBCU bingo. There's a room block there, Diana. My house gonna be full, so I can't let you stay here. But we do have a room block that if you want to come, there is at Weston. It's gonna be 2 miles from the airport, is where the bingo is. It's gonna be fun. Freddie, can I tell them something else though? That's inspired.
Please,
They gotta know this. So
please.
about 10 years ago, I think around 2000 and I don't know, but now it's more 12 years ago. But about 12 years ago, I started using the hashtag Samsung is my sponsor. They just don't know it yet. Nicole, I started hashtagging Best Buy as my sponsor. They just don't know it yet. Freddie, you may have seen sometimes that I did this. For 10 solid years, I wouldn't let up. I have such delusional faith that I never even approached them. People, my marketing people, experts would tell me, you need to be tagging. And I had such delusional faith that I wanted to see God show out for me. But I was like, I ain't going after them. I ain't tagging. I ain't trying to get their attention. I just know I want, and this Miss Polly was long before I had anything I wanted them to sponsor. Long before, I had no clue. All I knew was Samsung is my favorite brand. Best Buy is my favorite store. Fast forward, I launched Move-In Day Mafia. I really started knowing that, okay, this is what I want them to partner on. So I just kept hashtagging Best Buy is my sponsor. They just don't know it yet. Samsung is my sponsor. They just don't know it yet. Unbeknownst to me, did I know that a Best Buy employee had been following me for years and had been working behind the scenes on my behalf?
Wow.
Never asking me anything, never telling me anything. At the same time, I had a friend who, once again, I had no idea who she was connected to. We were Facebook friends. Her sister works for Samsung. I had no idea that she was planting the seed in her sister's ear. Fast forward 2023, Best Buy becomes my sponsor, Samsung becomes my sponsor. I said all that to say, even when it does not look like anything is happening, you cannot let loose of your dream and your faith. I didn't know how it was going to happen. That was the one area of my life that I never lost faith. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know how. And now Best Buy gave us 20,000 last year. They just told us they're giving us 30,000 last year. They just requested another meeting with us on Monday to coordinate how they're going to send different people at different HBCUs to cover us. Remember, the story about the Container Store was attached to Best Buy.
Right.
And it started with Best Buy as my sponsor. They just don't know it yet. Okay, I had to tell you. If my job was to inspire Freddie, I had to tell him that.
I think you definitely are doing that.
Right.
Give me joy in the comments, right? If you're definitely feeling the joy and inspiration from Sister TJ. This is incredible. If y'all have any questions, I'll wait a few more moments, but yeah, I see the joy is coming through, right? I mean, your story is I'm really at a loss for words, right? And then y'all know I'm never at a loss for words, but I mean, I'm just so blown away by your courage, by your tenacity, by your willingness to do things where it's not always worked out. You know, that's something that's a problem with most people that want to do stuff, right? It's like, yeah, maybe you talk to that. It can't be just faith, sister. Come on now. We give them
No, I
something.
put in the work now.
Okay.
Don't
All
get
right.
it
There we go.
twisted now. Now I
Okay.
put in the work. My week, like I'm sure plenty of them here, 90 hours a week. I eat,
Yeah.
sleep, and drink Move-In Day Mafia for this season. But you know what? You said something, Freddie, that I actually want to comment on, because don't get it twisted. And the reason why I'm like the way I am is because I've had a lot of loss. My joy cost.
Mm.
Don't misunderstand me. My joy cost. And the reason why I let my light shine so bright is because I knew what my light was, when how dim my light was when I found myself in the closet. This was in 2021, where I was telling God, if you don't come get me, I'm coming to you. I know what darkness feels like. I was married to a man who almost killed me several times. My third book is called The Six-Figure Battered Wife, My Path to Resilience. So a lot of people didn't know while I was holding it down in Hollywood, I was being held down in my own home. I birthed a stillborn daughter. So don't take this joy as like, oh, she got an easy life, that she's had this. No, ma'am, no, sir. This joy has cost me, and I have resolved that as dark as my life has been, where I was sitting here deciding, I'm now if we're gonna have real talk of inspiration, you got to understand that there was a time in my life where I was in the closet saying, well, I'm not gonna walk off of a building because I don't want to die painfully. I'm not gonna actually put myself on a train track because that's painful. I'm not going to actually lay down in a car in a garage because I live in an apartment now, so there ain't no garage. And that the only thing that I could do that was painful to take myself out of here was to walk across the street to Target. At the time, this was 2021, walk across the street to Target and get a bunch of pills because I didn't have enough pills in the house. And the only thing that saved me was I told myself, and this may be a little too real for y'all, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. I told myself, dumbass, crawl to the phone, call your doctor and tell him he's not okay. You're not okay. And then call your people and tell them you're not okay. As soon as I told my people I was not okay, they sent me a plane ticket to take me back to LA and nurture me back to health. When I say my joy cost, don't just look at what I am today. And I think that's a lot of times at what happened. We're looking at people's chapter 13 and forgetting what chapter 7 and chapter 8 look like. But I knew That wasn't me. I knew I was built to bring joy. So this light, this darkness that had just squished out my light had to be temporarily. And if I could just hold on long enough, raise my hand and tell my folks, I need help. I am not okay. And then trust that they would come get me, see to it that I was okay. I felt like I had to pass 50 million 11 tests before I left LA for them to know she okay. She can go back to Atlanta by herself. So
Mm.
I needed to tell the whole story of where this joy comes from.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm glad you shared it because we needed to see that piece, right? I think that was really an impactful and important piece. So having a good support system sounds like a good key piece to this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as I believe this sister Diana said, those foster kids were placed in your path on purpose. But yeah, I think that's why you had the support system that you were able to turn to so that you could go fulfill this chapter. Because I know with you, it's just a chapter. You're gonna build this big, fantastic thing. Somebody else is gonna take over it, and you're gonna go off into the sunset to do the next one, right?
The next thing.
So I gotta ask. This is probably my last question, maybe. But what else is on your delusional list? I want to know. Am I involved?
Yeah, you definitely involved on the next level. So, one thing I am is a storyteller. I'm always I've been like that as a kid. It was no surprise that I chose a career that my job was to tell stories. And so I'm not completely out of Hollywood because I did turn Move-In Day Mafia into a dorm room makeover show. We won an Emmy for home makeover, so it would make total sense that I would do a Move-In Day Mafia TV show. So I have delusional faith that that's going to go on and have multiple seasons. Going to have some big sponsors that we're going to do well for. One thing about me, and I think Freddie can attest to it, I'm always looking for the win-win of people who are playing with me. So even there's items or products you want to donate to for the bingo or silent auction, if you want to talk sponsorship, we can talk about that. I'm always looking for the win-win. So I know that we're going to have some, big partners like P&G. I'm claiming it, Amazon, Best Buy to run commercials and ads during the show, which is going to be another level of, getting the mafia name out there so we can just keep expanding because the mission is to be at 101 HBCUs. There are 101 remaining HBCU campuses. We want a mafia chapter on each one of those, and that we're going to ultimately do some damage, and we're going to demolish this foster care to prison pipeline and build a foster care to HBCU graduate pipeline. So that's one thing. And then remember earlier in the conversation when I was talking about is my belief that that thing that bothers you and keeps you up at night and aggravates something in you. Well, in these last week or so, I think I've got the inkling of the next thing that I'm going to attack. That's a sustainability problem that I haven't seen people attack yet. And it's beginning to bother me. And it's so ginormous and magnanimous and totally without, outside of my capabilities even now that I'm like, I don't know how that's going to happen, but I got enough receipts to know that if I can conceive it and it starts to bother me, then it's going to happen. And I'm going to have another legacy that I'm going to leave the world better. I don't have any physical children. I have a niece. I have two nieces and a nephew. And so I want to leave the planet and want to leave the world much better when I leave it. And I want to leave a generational trail that my fingerprint is on some of these kids. I've done something that if nothing else they will remember the kindness that was shown to them as a result of what we have created, and as a result they will pay it forward. So this next thing that is aggravating me is surprisingly the planet and sustainability.
Mm, mm. Come on, just reach bigger, play bigger, y'all. I love it. I don't know. It feels like that's a good place to end, but I'm gonna ask my final question, which is, can you just leave us with a final thought?
I think I've said it, I have a speaking series as a speaker. I have a speaking series called the ABC's Audacity. And Audacity, the ABC, I'll give you the ABCs. The premise of ABCs of Audacity comes out of the Bible story of Peter asking Jesus, can he walk on water? So when you are walking in the world and you're living out your dream, do you have the audacity to ask big? In no logical world is there ever a reason for someone to walk on water. And yet in the middle of the storm, Peter had the unmitigated gall to ask Jesus for what I call an unnecessary miracle. Wasn't nobody gonna live because he walked on water. Wasn't nobody gonna be raised from the dead but for whatever reason, Peter asked. And the crazy thing is Jesus said, yes, you can. So that taught me that if I just have the audacity to ask, I can ask Jesus for anything. B, believe long. I told you about my story of Best Buy. The other part of Believe Long is about 10 years ago when I started going into the speaker space. I asked God, like, okay, if I'm going to speak, one of the things I really want to do is to deliver an HBCU commencement address. Guess who delivered the commencement address to the largest class of Jarvis Christian University last month? Last month.
Wow.
Believe long. C, and this is the final one, collaborate in community. My superpower is I tell people I'm needy. I tell people I need help. I do. Matter of fact, I just found out I will be delivering my second TED Talk. Guess what the audition video was? The very first thing that came out of my mouth was, I am needy. My neediness is my superpower because I have no ego with asking for help. It took 10 years for that commencement address to happen. It took 10 years for me to get Best Buy as a sponsor, Samsung as a sponsor. And none of this would happen if I wasn't collaborative in community. That's the one thing anybody will tell you that rocks with me. I love collaboration and I have no qualms about asking for help. Those are the ABCs of Audacity.
I love it. I love it. And thank you for sharing that with you. Thank you for sharing your whole story with us here today. Hopefully, y'all are inspired. You got a cup full of joy, bigger than a cup. That was like a bucket, right? Right. A bucket full of joy. Please let us leave us with your thoughts on Sister TJ Mercer. Yeah, what I always say, like open up your mics and like let's just shower some appreciation on the sister. Yeah. Yeah. Joy, joy, joy.
TJ, you are amazing. I hope that all the things that you endeavor to accomplish for yourself and others comes true because you're amazing. You're a light. You really are.
Thank you. Thank you. And if y'all ever see me out in public, please make sure you identify yourself. Say hi to me.
I sure will on the 12th.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I am looking forward to it. Make sure you make yourself known. You may have to catch me running around like a chicken with my head cut off, but you make sure you stop me.
Yes, ma'am. It'll be an honor, and you are a great inspiration. Thank you very much.
Freddie, you hear that too? I did my job, Freddie.
You
did my job.
You definitely did your job.
You are awesome and amazing, and your joy runneth over and touches us, and we appreciate it all. Thank you so much.
You are most welcome. You're most welcome.
I love it. I love
You're
it.
a beautiful soul. You really inspired me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, sister. We appreciate
Sorry,
you.
Freddie, you know I don't talk.
Yes, go
I'm
ahead.
inspired.
Freddie, that's fine.
I never talk, but I'm
Oh,
talking to you
wow.
today. You are
Oh,
awesome.
thank you, Miss Rosetta. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Freddie, that's 3. I did my job. I did my job.
Yeah,
You
got
did
more
it.
than 3. Yeah, there's more than 3, right? I think you knocked this out the park, right? They say they're gonna be checking this out on the site after the interview, so they're going to your site. How soon is the
Oh,
replay available? Man, they own
Miss
us.
Diana says I'm getting a group together. We will be there. Coming from Cali and MN. Wait, is that Minnesota? Is that MN? Is that Minnesota?
Minnesota.
I love it.
I
Love it,
love
love
it.
it, love it.
Yeah, all right. We'll be looking forward to some pictures, some group pictures at the reunion, right?
Yes. And if you want to be notified when remember I said about the Adopt a Scholar drops the 14th through the 21st, just go to movingdaymafia.org/adopt a scholar, and that'll put you in the pipeline to be notified and be reminded that the wish lists have dropped. So that's movingdaymafia.org/adopt a scholar,
Adopt a
and you
scholar.
will get the notification when we've made the wish list live.
Okay, okay, excellent, excellent. Well, thank you again for being with us and sharing all your insight and inspiration and your joy, right, with us. So
And I'll
thank you.
see you next month. I mean, in a few weeks, Freddie,
In a
right?
few
For
weeks.
Traffic
In a
Sales and
few weeks.
Profit. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'll be there. Thanks again. I appreciate you. I'll see all of y'all soon, Sister Alry. I'm not sure
When do you?
exactly when the replay will be up.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I love it that they look, they already want the replay up.
I love
We
it.
ain't had this before, right? This is new. This is new. So you done took things to another level. We
I
definitely
love
appreciate
it.
you.
Y'all, it was such a pleasure and a joy. Thank you for letting me unleash all of this, because then my team will be a little, they're gonna be happy that I won't show up to the bingo meeting tonight with all of this. So thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Tamika, thank you for being so kind with us. And I appreciate you, Freddie. I'll see you in a few weeks.
Few weeks. Yeah. Y'all take care. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Until the next discussion.
Freddie, before we end, I just want to let the the members that are on, we're having the live training for with Kim McCowan, the genealogy
Yes.
training. So check your emails for the link. That starts at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we have another guest, politician Barbara Jordan. We're going to talk about Black politics and the Black community. So that's from 8:30 to 9:30. You guys will check your emails and get that link as well.
It's a busy day, and they all got to live up to Sister TJ's energy. So good luck.
Oh, Freddie, well, one last question. For
Yes.
those of you who work in corporate and have ERGs, like Black ERGs and all of that, will y'all, if possible, will you let me know? Because we do really well when I come present at the Black ERGs about Mafia. And so now corporations are beginning to circulate the wish list even amongst the Black ERGs. So if
Wow.
that's you, go to the website and shoot us an email. That's it. I'm glad I just thought of that. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sister. I always appreciate you. I'll see you in a few weeks.
Okay.
And I'll see all of y'all on the next discussion. Right. So see you a little bit later. I appreciate y'all.